Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Get this camera set straight. It is 1:47 a.m. and it is 72 degrees outside, in case you want to know. And it is extremely, I'm gonna use my lip plumper tonight. It is extremely muggy outside. And I have so many thoughts. Did you guys ever see the movie Arthur? I used to love that movie. My dad and I would watch it all the time together. On New Year's Eve, I was always with my dad on New Year's Eve. My dad hates New Year's Eve, so, I mean, he doesn't hate it, but he doesn't stay up to, like, watch the ball drop or anything, but when I was a kid, he would. And we'd go outside, like, when I was before he had his house, and I'd stay with him in his apartment. And at midnight, we'd go outside and, you know, bang pans and stuff. Do you guys remember when we used to bang pans on New Year's Eve? I think that's so funny. Oh, my Lord. And people shoot guns and stuff like that up into the sky on New Year's Eve. Anyway, well, that's what they do if you're from Indiana. I guess I don't know what they do elsewhere. Fireworks and things like that. But, so I would be with my dad, and we would always grill out steaks. My dad, okay, so when I was with my dad, his, like, go-to meal to cook would be, like, he likes to grill out steaks, New York strips back in the day. I loved them. Do you know what's so weird is I always liked the fatty part of the New York strip. I don't know why. Anyway, let me open my Diet Pepsi because I am thirsty. I've been drinking, well, I had a coffee earlier. Here's my Pepsi. I don't know why I have to show you my Pepsi like it's product placement or something, but it's not because I don't have a Pepsi sponsorship. I've never had a sponsorship on this channel. I don't think I probably ever will, but I don't really care. But what was I gonna say? So my dad would grill out steaks. So my mom would always go and do something for New Year's Eve with, like, her girlfriends, like one or two of them. Actually, okay, so my mom, this is really weird. My mom, well, it's not weird, I guess. My mom would always go to church, like, early on New Year's Eve. Like their New Year's Eve services. She would go to, like, the 6 o'clock service, and then she would go out to eat with, like, a girlfriend of hers, and then they would go to, like, some bar or something, like, you know, and sit there and have some drinks and whatever. And my mom used to also go, like, she and her friends would go to movies on New Year's Eve. Do you think that's weird? I remember they used to go see movies on New Year's Eve. But anyway, so my mom was always, my dad always had me for New Year's Eve because he just didn't care about New Year's. Oh, the other thing is my dad was always on call on New Year's Eve. So my dad, when I was growing up, he had, well, my dad started his own practice, and then he had 2 partners, and then he had 5 partners at one point. He was a senior partner. But the majority of the time, that was like when I was in high school. The majority of the time that I was growing up, my dad had 2 other partners that were, like, really close family friends too. One of my dad's partners, it ended up, like, they were the ones that started, like, my dad started and the other one started, like, a year later with him, and they were, like, best friends their entire working career. And my dad's ex-partner, and, well, because he retired, his partner and his wife live in Florida now, and his wife was actually my mom's, like, closest friend, one of her closest friends when she was growing, the whole time I was growing up, but I was talking about that recently. I talked about this on here recently. So, my dad always had me on New Year's Eve because he was always on call. Like, they would trade call. And since they, like, you know, had partners and stuff, like, well, you know, since they were married and all that, like, my dad would just take call on New Year's Eve because somebody had to take call for the emergency room. And so he would just take call on New Year's Eve. And So, like, I mean, you know, obviously he couldn't, like, you know, go hang out and have a drink or anything because he was on call. So, I mean, he was at home with me, like, you know, playing dad. And so we would grill out steaks, and then he would always, like, his go-to meal, not just on New Year's Eve, but anytime, was he would make New York strips with wild rice, and then those Stouffer's spinach souffles. I used to love those as a kid. And then he let me pick whatever kind of cookie I wanted. And every time I talk on here, people always I guess I don't explain it right, but they were these grasshopper cookies. They were called grasshoppers, and they were like Oreos, but the inside of them was green, like mint, chocolate, like green mint inside of it. So it tasted like a mint chocolate chip ice cream, kind of. But anyway, I used to always get those. And milk, my dad was real big on, both my parents were really big on me drinking milk when I was growing up. And I can remember when my mom's changed, this is so weird to me now that I look back on this, you know, because like, if you're like me and you grew up in the same era as me, like, our parents drank like 2%, you know, or whole milk, which is so weird to me in retrospect, that people drank like whole milk. Do people still do that? I mean, that would be like drinking cream now, you know? But like back then I can remember my mom at one point, like, she kind of went through this whole health thing, and then she kind of stuck to it for the rest of her life, minus the ice cream and all of that. But she switched to skim milk. And I can remember thinking it tasted like water. It was so gross. I hated it at first. And then after that, when I drank milk for like the rest of my life, I've never been a big milk drinker. I just don't love it. You know, like with cereal and stuff, it's fine, but I'm not like a big milk drinker. Like, I wouldn't just like get a glass of milk. I mean, maybe I would. I don't know, like, if I wasn't a vegetarian, like have a turkey sandwich with like some potato salad and a glass of milk, like at my dad's house, I would maybe do that or something like that. But I would always opt to orange juice instead of, if it was between orange juice and milk, I would do orange juice instead. I know that those are kind of two weird comparisons, but you know what I mean? Like if I went to the refrigerator and it was one or the other, I would get orange juice. I love orange juice. I love any kind of juice. Orange juice, apple juice, whatever. I love all the juices. So anyway, supposedly juice like rots your teeth and you're not supposed to drink a lot of juice. I don't know. I don't really drink a lot of juice today. I drink a lot of water and diet soda and coffee, which is, diet soda and coffee is equally bad. But anyway, so that's what we would do. And then we would watch, well, we wouldn't watch it, but like on the movie channel, like Showtime or the movie channel, I can't remember which one, but you could like call in and you could like vote on the movie. And it was always like Arthur and then like Cannonball Run and like Meatballs. It was always like those kind of movies, and you could like vote for which movie you wanted to vote for. And my dad and I think we always voted for Arthur. I think we did. My dad loves the movie Arthur. Like he'll call me and like quote things from Arthur to this day. It was funny because my dad texted me, and my dad always has nicknames for people. Like if you see, it started when I was like a little kid, and like anytime we would see somebody that was like dressed really nice, because like I liked fashion and stuff, even when I was a little kid, you know, and I would see somebody, like some guy, and they'd be like, you know, dressed really like, you know, very stylish or whatever, and I'd be like, Dad, I like his outfit, and my dad would call him BDG, best dressed guy. And so my dad, I talked to him on my birthday, but he texted me like earlier, and he said like, happy birthday, BDG. So he always like does little initials for things. Like when we were driving to Chicago, there's this bridge that I hate. That's like, it's not over water, it's over the city. And I don't love big bridges anyway. They just make me nervous. Like when we drive into Louisville, I'm like this. I hate bridges. So anyway, I mean, I'll do them, but I don't love them. I've always wanted to do the drive from like Miami to Key West, but I heard it's like all bridges. Alex has done it. He's like, you would hate it. He's like, water's literally on either side of you, and I'd be like scared to death of sharks the whole time and stuff. So anyway, my dad calls that bridge, and Alex does it to me now, like when he has to go to Chicago for stuff, like a music festival or like a conference or whatever, he'll like call me and he'll be like, I just went over the bridge of death. And my dad still calls it Bridge of Death, and he calls it, what is that, Bridge O Death, B-O-D. But anyway, and then we would vote on this movie, and then the movie would come on at like 10 o'clock, and we would watch it. And it was always like Arthur. I love the line from Arthur where he just starts laughing, and he says it like more than once in the movie. He laughs and he says, sometimes I just think funny things. My dad's partner, actually, my dad's medical partner, I didn't even mention this on here, but my dad retired a couple months ago, like fully retired. It was kind of sad, actually. He like, he just like called me and told me, he was like I hadn't talked to him in like a week, and he was like, hey, I forgot to tell you. And I was like, what? And he was like, I'm done. And I was like, what? And he fully retired. He had retired from his practice like 2 years ago, and he'll be 80 this fall, but he's enjoying it so far. So I said something to my dad about, I think maybe I did mention it on here, because I said something to my dad about us doing a book together, us writing a book together as a project, and he kind of liked that idea. So he's the kind of person that has to be always doing something. But my dad, I don't know, I got like real sad about it. I'm gonna get real emotional, I don't know why, but like 55 years, you know, that my dad like worked for the same hospital organization, you know, 55 years. And my dad's like not somebody that like I was like, you weren't gonna have a big party or anything? And he was like, oh, I don't care about all that, you know that. He was like, I just let him know I let them know a couple months in advance. I let your stepmom know like a month in advance, and then I just was done one day. I was like, I don't know, it's just so weird to me to think of my dad not working, you know. Not to mention my dad got his first job when he was like 12, so he's like literally worked his entire life. My dad grew up so poor, and anyway, I was like, what are you gonna do now? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I haven't like not gone into work like, you know, since I was 12. He was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But he seemed excited about it. He was happy, you know. So anyway, I don't know why I got so emotional about it. It's just like, I've always known my dad to be like, my dad literally gets up, like, well, until he retired, he would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And, yeah. He would get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and he would go into work. And, he'd always be the first one there. And he loved to go in and read all of his newspapers and stuff like that, you know? So anyway. But, so we would watch that, and then, you know, sometime during New Year's Eve, we would get called in, or he would get called into the hospital. Not me, because, I mean, I obviously wasn't a doctor at age 6 or 7, but, like, we would go to the hospital, and I would have to sit out in the waiting area in my pajamas and stuff. My dad would, you know, put a big coat on me and be like, come on, Pete, we gotta go in. We got called in, and we go, you know. And my dad would sew up somebody's hand that got in a bar fight or something like that. And my dad's he was a plastic surgeon, but his areas, he did cosmetic surgery, like more when I was in high school, but like that was always only like 30 or 40% of what he did. The majority of what he did was hand reconstruction. And he also did a lot of like facial reconstruction, burns and things like that. Like, so yeah, like that was the majority of what he did. When I was growing up, like we would go to church on Sunday if I was with my dad, and then we would like, he did house calls. My dad did a lot of house calls when I was growing up, and we would, I actually, to get into the master's program, we had to write we had to write this like 25-page essay to get into the master's program. And like, I remember one of the questions was like, who is somebody that is like not a social worker? Because it was like, you know, for my master's in social work degree, they were like, who's somebody that's not a social worker but exemplifies like social worker, you know, traits or characteristics that has been a role model to in your life? And I wrote about my dad because we would go over and do house calls. Well, he would do house calls and I would go with him. There I'd be in my little tie, you know, after church and stuff, khakis and a little tie. And we would go over to somebody's house, like out in the middle of nowhere. And before we would go inside, my dad would, like, he'd turn off the car and he'd look at me and he'd say, okay, now when we go inside, I want you to be very, very respectful of, I don't know, let's just say the guy's name is, you know, Mr. Smith or something. He'd say, I want you to be very respectful of Mr. Smith because Mr. Smith hurt his hand where he works. And he would see a lot of people that, like, worked in mills and factories that had, like, gotten their hands mangled in the machinery. And so he would do, like, he'd go to their houses and change their dressings and things like that, because a lot of times these were people that didn't have cars or couldn't travel to have their dressings changed and things like that, or they were too badly injured and they couldn't leave the house. So my dad would say, okay, now when we go inside, I want you to be very respectful of, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and somebody is texting me, I don't know who it is, and like, you know, if they ask you a question, you be polite and respond and say, yes, Mr. Smith, yes, Mrs. Smith, and whatever. And so then we would go inside, and my dad, I can see him, like, in my head, I can see, like, this guy, like, in his recliner with his hand out, and my dad, like, on his knees on the floor, like, changing his dressings on his arm, you know? And then his wife would be like, I mean, I look at this and I think, like, you know, my dad worked his ass off. He worked 70 hours a week easily, you know, 80 hours a week. The last place he probably wanted to be on a Sunday was at, like, somebody's house out in the middle. And I mean, it would be like a half an hour drive out in the country, you know. It's probably the last place he wanted to be on a Sunday, which was, like, the only day that he got to relax, because on Saturdays he had to go in and do rounds, you know. And I can remember we'd be sitting there, and, like, the wife would say, would you guys, you know, we're gonna have dinner here in just a little bit, would you guys like to stay for dinner? And my dad would say, we would love to stay for dinner. Thank you so much for inviting us. You know, he just was so gracious, you know. And we would sit there and stay for dinner, and my dad would just be like, oh, this is delicious, you know, thank you so much for inviting us, this is such a pleasure. And, you know, when I found out later, I asked my dad, like, when I was, like, in junior high, I said, like, I can remember asking my dad one time, I said, like, I don't understand, like, why we stayed at those places. Like, it had, like, there were so many times we would stay at somebody's house and have, you know, dinner. And I would say, Dad, I don't understand. Like, I said, well, do you remember that? Like, he goes, oh, yeah, I still do it. Like, you what? You still do it? He was like, yeah. And he'd be like, Peter, those people cannot afford to pay me. He was like, that is their ability to thank me for what they do. And I'm going to allow somebody, if they feel that they need to thank me, to do that. So if I sit there and have dinner with them and they are kind enough to give us a meal, and that's their appreciation for what I've done, why wouldn't I give them the opportunity to do that? And I just look back on that and I think, like, he's just such an awesome man. You know, there's so many times in my life when, and he's not, I mean, my dad's not a perfect person. He just isn't. And he'd be the first one to admit that, you know. He'd be embarrassed if he knew that I was, like, talking about him so glowingly. He really would. And my dad's, like, somebody that points his faults out a lot. But there's been so many opportunities in my life. I don't know. I've just learned a lot, you know, from my dad through the years. You know, even like I knew that my parents did not like each other, right? Like, there was no mystery about that. They weren't nasty to each other. I can count on one hand in my entire growing up, like, times that I witnessed them kind of, like, arguing, you know? Like, maybe one or two really bad ones, and then other than that, like, not physical ever, you know, but just, like, yelling, mostly on my mom's end. But my dad was always pretty calm with my mom. But I can remember, like, saying something to like, being mad at my dad, like, something, him doing something. I mean, we all, you know, all kids get mad at their parents, right? And I'd be at my mom's house, and I'd say something about my dad, and I would say something, like, disrespectful and call him a name or whatever. And my mom would say, you don't ever call your father that name. Like, you don't ever do that. You know, you respect your father, and he works very, very hard for us. This was like, my parents have been divorced for years. My mom would say that. He works very, very hard for us. Your man is, she'd say, your father, you know, he is a good man, and he works very, very hard, and, you know, and then, like, I would say something to my dad about my mom, and, you know, he wouldn't co-sign it and be like, yeah, I think, like, one time he said something about my mom, and that was, like, the only thing, but, like, he would never, like, if I said something bad about my mom, I mean, he would get, like, gritted teeth, and he would say, you don't talk about your mother that way. Who taught you? You don't talk about your mother that way. Like, I mean, I did not sass my mom to my dad. I just didn't. He didn't like that at all. I mean, you know what my dad, I mean, he said to me one time, he goes, do you know how many times in my life I have ever spoken negatively about my mother? He said, I have never spoken negatively about my mother. He just hated that. I feel like we've lost a lot of that, you know, in our society. I really do. Like, I really notice it, like, in Alex's family, like, there's kind of like this, you know, matriarchy where, like they all look up to Alex's mom, and then everybody looks up to Alex's grandma. I mean, she is literally, like, kind of like the Rose Kennedy of the family. I mean, she really is, you know? And nobody, you don't disrespect Alex's mom, you don't disrespect his tia, you don't disrespect his grandma, nobody does, never. I've never, like, heard Alex sass his mother or talk back to her, ever. I mean, in 12 years, I've never heard him be disrespectful to her. And I feel like in our society a little bit, we've kind of lost that, you know, like, that being respectful of our elders. Like, I feel like we've lost that to some degree, where we call our neighbors Mr. and Mrs. and, you know, even, like, I don't know why, like, I've kind of gotten into some discussions with my friends where I just feel like I need to shut my mouth about this, and I'm sure I'm gonna step on some toes with some of you out there, but, like, I have friends of mine whose kids will go to these kind of, like, alternative schools, and they'll be like, yeah, and he loves it or she loves it because they call their teacher by their first name. And I'm always like, I don't know that I like that. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I don't know that I like that schools that allow their teachers to be called by their first name. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who am I to say? How did I get talking about this? I was going to talk about Stephen Hill. Oh, Stephen. Let's talk about Stephen and get cheerful. Stephen was literally my happy moment in a dark day of negativity on YouTube today. This crap, I'm just like, I'm gonna keep making my drama videos, I am, but, like, it's just a lot. Like, it's just a lot, you know? And, I'm gonna pull in here in a second and see who's texting me. So, you know, I'll shout out people on my vlog channel. I very rarely shout out people on my main channel because, to be honest with you, like, the people that I like to watch that are, like, vloggers or, like, whatever, or, you know, like, if I shout it out on my main channel, like, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be interested anyway because they're not beauty influencers and things like that, right? But today, before I went into my video, I was like, I just think that Steven is such a kind guy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, like, Steven's somebody that watches my vlog. He commented on my vlog, like, I don't know, a week ago, or he's commented a lot. But anyway, he said that he has a channel, so I went and watched it, and I really liked what he had to say, and I have liked what he had to say in every single vlog, and I continue to learn and just be like, last night he was talking about this coaching class that he's gonna do about loving yourself and your body, and I just was like, I mean, it's just like every time I listen to him, I learn something, and I don't even think he really realizes how wise he is. I just think, like, have you ever met one, like, my old sponsor was like this. Like, he would say the simplest things in such layman's terms, and I just sit there and be like absolutely wowed. Like, this man is so wise and intelligent. Well, Steven's the same way, and I don't think he even gets that he's that wise and intelligent. But anyway, so I decided that I was going to shout him out on my main channel. Now, I don't know who said this to me back in the day. It may have even been, like, Trisha Paytas. I can't remember. But somebody said to me one time, I was like so thankful. Somebody shouted me out, you know, because the old days of YouTube, it's like you couldn't get your channel to grow unless somebody shouted you out. Like, there was always that, right? And so when a couple people shouted me out, I was so thankful. And whoever said it to me, I do think it was Trisha, actually, said to me, like, I can shout you out, and I can get people to your channel. I can get some people to your channel, but you're the one that's going to keep them there. And like, I didn't get it really at the time. I'm like, oh yeah, she's just saying that, but that's not really true. Like, she's the one that's getting me the subscribers. But now I know it's true because I have like gone to so many people's channels because somebody shouts them out. I always come to the same spot and talk. But it's the YouTuber that keeps them there, right? Like, I mean, I could shout out 50 people and it doesn't mean that they're going to get any subscribers. So I had shouted Steven out in my vlog, and several people went over there, and I had watched his vlog, and he went through and he was reading all these comments. And I was like, this is what I love about YouTube, are people that do not take their subscribers for granted. And there's so many things about how, like, he was approaching it that reminded me of myself when I first got on YouTube. I literally I mean, I'm sure me crying doesn't surprise anybody, but I literally bawled my eyes out when I hit 1,000 subscribers on BookTube. And I was like, I was never accepted in high school, and this is more people than I went to high school with that are watching my videos. And it just was like not missed on me. And it was just like, it was like I could see a room full of 1,000 people and all of them standing there, and I literally saw each and every one of them. And that's one of the things I'm so grateful for this vlog. You know, it's like reading your comments. It's like, so many of you, like, I feel like I know or I see in my head because you comment regularly on my video or my vlog and on my other videos as well. But it's just like, there's so many of you that I feel like I have a personal relationship with. I mean, no BS, like, seriously, you know? And a lot of you have watched from the very beginning, which is just like so amazing to me. I mean, when people are like, I have never missed a vlog of yours, I'm just like, that is crazy, right? That people have dedicated that much time and energy to watching something that I have to put out. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching his vlog, or I'm listening to his vlog. I've been driving and listening to him. And he's talking about, like, he's reading these comments and like what each person means to him. And then I'm watching this drama unfold on YouTube, and like the dichotomy between like him starting his channel and being so overly grateful for each and every person that subscribed to his channel. But then I feel like these big YouTubers could care less what their numbers mean. It's like, oh sure, I have 23 million subscribers. It's like they've lost any kind of relatability of what that each one of those people is a person, right? And that pisses me off, quite frankly. You know, it's like, be grateful for the people that got you where you are. And so I was like, I'm shouting him out on my main channel today. Like, you know, it's applicable. I think people will relate. Well, he hit over 1,000 subscribers. So anyway, I think the last time I looked, he had like 1,100 or something like that. And he just did this video. I'm only halfway through it, so I don't know what he says. But it's called Thank You, Oh My God, vlog number 5. Okay, so this is what is so funny. He's talking about his computer in there, and I don't know why I didn't catch this before, but this is so funny. Steven, you must not watch my review channel, because I did a review of my new video, or my new computer that I got. Well, I showed all my computers that I have used since I started. That HP notebook that he has is literally the computer that I started on YouTube. I filmed on a Canon camera because we already had those, so I just used that. But you could use your phone or anything. Although, Steven, I will tell you, I think your phone might have better quality than that, because I have that computer. But I still have that computer at home, and I actually bought a purple one, and I reviewed it on my review channel. It's a great computer for 150 bucks. It really is. I used it forever. But it's so funny because he was going in there and he was deleting videos, and he deleted this vlog. He filmed a whole vlog today for an hour and a half, and then he deleted it. And when he said he deleted it, I started laughing my ass off, because Alex to this day still laughs at me. I just did it the other day. I deleted a video, but it really happened a lot with that computer, because that computer doesn't hold a lot of memory, right? So like, I would film a video or two, and then I would have to delete them, because to put more videos on, you have to delete them. And so when he said that, I was like, oh my God, this is literally, we're twins. This is like me. Like, I did this, right? And I can remember being like, and he said, like, you know, he at first started getting upset, and then he was like, but I had so much fun vlogging. And I was like, I wish I had heard that like 4 years ago, because I used to get quite frustrated when I would delete videos. But that's a great little computer. It's actually a fantastic computer for writing too. I wrote my entire book on that computer. It's like, and the next book that I'm working on that computer, because it's a better computer for writing than a Mac is. I like the Mac for like an iMovie and traveling and internet. It's like the Mac, and if you're gonna get a Mac, like just pay the extra, if you can afford it, pay the extra $100 or $200 or whatever and get a MacBook Pro. I love my MacBook Air, but it needs a new battery. It's just sitting there. But the MacBook Pro is like so ultra fast. It is so fast. It's unbelievable. But that HP computer, like, I love it. Like, I absolutely love that computer. You can go up to Walmart today. You can get it in blue, purple, and I think maybe pink or something like that. It's gonna stop. Hold on. But it's a great little computer. It's a great computer. I love it. So, yeah, I'm not gonna vlog for a long time tonight because I'm really tired. Oh, I was using them. Oh, the other thing that he said in there that cracked me up was his mom was listening to my vlog, and I said something about putting my lip gloss on. And she said he wears lip gloss, and she was like, he wears lip gloss? And Steven started laughing and was like, yeah, yes ma'am, I wear lip gloss. It makes you feel more glamorous. Listen, okay? Go get you a little $2 bottle or $3 bottle of some cheapy Elf or something. Elf is good quality. It's not my favorite, but it's good quality. Lip gloss, or, you know, Bonnie Bell, the lip roller or whatever. And tell me if you put that on, driving around in your car, singing and dancing to Taylor Swift. She's not my favorite, but she's Steven's favorite. Although he did quote Madonna. He said, I'm a material girl living in a material world. I am a material girl. But anyway, I'm more of a Madonna kind of girl. But put on some lip gloss, and just put it on while you're dancing around your house. Tell me if it doesn't make you feel fancy. Okay, it will, trust me. It's just little things like that, you know, lighten our mood. So let's see. Let's go in here and read a couple comments. Well, I'll tell you about my day, first of all. Should I read a comment or no? My phone has not been wanting to charge today at all. At all. Okay. How do I get out of there? Okay, hold on a second. Living in material. I had that song stuck in my head. Vlog. I'm going to the vlog right now. That's the lip pumper. It's a lip thing. I literally posted my vlog so early tonight, and it has not very many views on it. I think I posted it at like noon. I think the earlier I post it, the worse it does. I'm not poking it. I cannot speak tonight. I'm not posting it earlier anymore. Yeah, it's been up for 9 hours, so I don't know when that would have been that I would have posted it, but Rebecca said she said you made me want pancakes. Oh my god, I want pancakes now. Rebecca said, I love your vlogs, just don't love the extra long outro. If I get more than one comment on here, if I get a couple comments about the outro, I'm not gonna do it tonight. Ashley said, I'm so glad you had a wonderful birthday, Peter. Thank you, Ashley. The beauty demon said, seeing you drove around during the sunlight is crazy. So much flat land. It is flat here. Heather said, happy birthday. Thank you. AKA Constantine said, if your gut tells you to wear a mask, don't let others who don't care about you make you question if you should. If you're wrong, you've worn a mask. If they're wrong, people, okay, they don't make it. I'll just say that. I don't play games with people's lives like that. I mask up every time. I mask up every time too. Pretty and Paranormal said, happy birthday, Peter. I love you. I want to tell you thank you so much for making your vlogs. You've helped me so much. Words cannot describe. When I am depressed when I have a bad night when I had a bad night at work and some of my worst times, I would put on your vlogs and I would feel so much better. Aww, I love your vlog since the Sally. Thank you. Aww. And Jen said 137th like. Did I talk a lot about people not wearing masks? You know what's so funny is I don't even remember talking about that. Jen Exer said, glad to hear you had a great, happy birthday. As far as people not wearing masks, I think they're selfish a-holes, period. Those of us who wear them are protecting them while they are exposing us. Well, you asked. Well, thank you. Oh my God, there's so many comments about mask wearing in here. Jenna said, it's not just you. So many people have gotten way too comfortable and it shows. People are acting like it's all over with when the U.S. legit hasn't flattened the curve at all. Continue to stay safe and keep others safe. Do you know what's interesting about that is, Tanya was telling me tonight, because her son just moved back here from Florida, right? And so they had, well, he moved in with a friend, so he's not living with her while he's up here. He's going to work for her for a while, but he's not going to live with her. And, because he wants to be with his friend. His friend has like his grandma used to live on a farm, so they live like on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, but she had him over for dinner tonight. Well, Tanya is completely freaked out about all this kind of stuff. And I said, I'm kind of surprised that you had him over to your house, like from, you know, he just came here from Florida. He drove up here from Florida and stuff, but she's like way freaked about Florida because they're closing the beaches apparently again for 4th of July weekend in California. I don't know if that's true or not, but so anyway, she said, oh, well, he came around the house and sat on the, Tanya's big about people have to come around and sit on the side. They don't come inside the house, right? And she said, now she's let me come into the house one time, but she, so she said he came around the side of the house and sat on the patio and we grilled out. She goes, he didn't come in the house and I didn't hug him. And I said, well, was it hard for you? She goes, yeah, it broke my heart that I can't hug my own kid, you know? And when she was in Tennessee, because I had asked her about that, she's like, I didn't hug any of my family, Peter. She was like, she's like, this whole thing is just so, she's like, Tanya gets mad when people don't wear masks in places. Jay said, I have a flight booked for July, and I've received several emails from the airline saying masks are required in the airports and on the plane. Now I'm getting nervous if they aren't enforcing it. Okay, so my cousin just got back. They are not enforcing it. And Melissa and Jason just went to Florida to stay in their condo, in his parents' condo down there, and they didn't enforce it on the way down there. And the airport is not enforcing it. So that's from people that I know. But other than that, I don't know anything. And all of them, it made them very nervous. Everybody is like really sticking to the... Heather said, I live in a tiny town in Georgia and no one wears a mask here. My family and I do. Myself, husband, and 2 boys, 3 and 4. You're not wrong. It's a big thing that people are far too cavalier about. Hope you have had a great birthday. Every day is a birthday when you find you're happy. See you tomorrow. Aw, I love that. Every day is your birthday. That's actually on last night's vlog. Steven talked about not reinventing yourself. What was the word? Renewing your. I think it's renewing yourself. I'm not big on Bible quotes and stuff like that, but I really liked how he used the Bible as like a like religious text. And to back like this I wish I knew the quote that he used. It was fantastic. It was this quote, and then he like applied it to like thinking, you know, in every day. And I really liked how he did that. I really liked that quote. So Stephen, put it in the comment section below if you hear this, so that I know what it is. One of the things that surprised me when I went to Meijer the other day was how many older people, like, I mean elderly people, like 70 and over, okay, probably, I'm guessing, but like, let's just say 70 and over, and how many little kids did not have masks on. Like, this is where I get very careful about not getting judgy, but like if it were my kid, they'd have a mask on. I just, like, that scares me. And I can tell you right now, there's no way I'd be going into a store if I was 70 plus right now without a mask on. And I don't even know that I'd be comfortable going into a store without a mask on. So many happy birthdays. Thank you guys so much for the happy birthdays. I really appreciate it. I'm going to sit down later when I get home and read all of these comments. Okay, so what did I want to say? I was going to tell you about my day because my day was so exciting. No, really all I did today was I made videos for my drama channel. Which was, I mean, it was fun to respond to all of that. L. Leary Artistry, she commented on my video about the hot chocolate analogy. She said, oh yes, on the hot watery chocolate. L. Leary, can I just tell you, I adore her so much. Do you guys know what she sent me? She sent me for my birthday. I meant to show this, and then, like, it started, like, after a day, like, I still had it sitting out, and Alex, like, came home, and he took it all down and put it into Tupperware because he wanted it to be, like, saved for me, which was really sweet, but I have a picture of it. Oh, I forgot to include my picture of my flowers last night, so go over and look at my Instagram. But Elle sent me one of those edible arrangements, and I told her I have always wanted one of those, and I've never received one. And I've never sent one either. It's really cool. It's like chocolate-covered melons, and then melons. It's like balls, but it looks like a flower arrangement, but it's all fruit. And then there's like strawberries, and then there's like star-shaped pineapple, and all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. I could not believe it. It was so cool. And there's like a big chocolate thing. Oh my God. So yeah. Yep. So today I got up, started making drama videos right away because of all of this crap that just popped off, because you probably know if you watch drama videos, Tati Westbrook released a video today. So I made videos about that. And I was kind of like, I'm going to get my stuff done early, and then I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to drive around and listen to some music and stuff. I've been really into listening to music lately. I downloaded the other night, like, tons of New Order, because I loved them in high school. But then my videos weren't getting up as quick as I wanted them to, and then I talked to the neighbors, both of my neighbors. My one neighbor, Laura, she has a new roommate, and they're, like, forever taking walks, like, around the neighborhood. So I talked to them, and then I talked to my other neighbors, because they were out, like, training their dogs, or started taking their dog to obedience class. And then Alex came home, and it was his mom's birthday today. So we had to go over to his mom's house and have the birthday thing over there, which is always like this long ordeal. Like, we get there, and then, like, they don't want to do, like, cake. We just sit around there at the table for, like, 2.5, 3 hours. And I was so tired. Like, I literally, to be honest, could, like, have just, like, skipped the whole thing and just gone to bed. I was that tired. And tonight, actually, I lay down, and I was trying to take a nap, and I didn't want to set an alarm because it would wake Alex up. Sometimes he doesn't care if I, like, set an alarm, like, at 1 in the morning or something like that. But, like, he has like, an early presentation tomorrow, so he was like, please don't set an alarm. And I was like, okay, babe, I'm not going to set an alarm for you. So I was like, if I fall asleep, I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning again. Was that yesterday that I did that? I think it was yesterday that I did that. So I was like, I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning again and vlog, so I was like, I'm just going to leave. So anyway, so yeah, so he came in, and then we sat down there, and then I ate the rest of my pizza, and he had already eaten the rest of his pizza, and we were watching this, like, game show, I was gonna say quiz show that I like, and he was playing Township, and we were just, like, talking about our day. He was watching these TikToks. He just sits here and watches these TikToks, and he just laughs his complete butt off. He, like, watched the same TikTok, I swear to God, like, 10 times in a row, and he was sending it to his friends. He's so silly. So anyway, we were talking about our day, and then, oh, I took a shower. Like, that's the first thing I did. Like, that was kind of, like, different. I usually take a shower, like, in the evening if I'm going to do something. But, like, I got up, and I was like, I'm going to take a shower and then film my videos. I'm, like, not going to be rushed to go do 10,000 things today. So I did that, and yeah. And then we went over to his mom's house at like, I just uploaded videos and stuff all, like after he came home. We went over there at like 8:30. And we drove separate because I was going to vlog on my way home, but I was literally so tired on my way home I could hardly keep my eyes open. Alex is like, I was like, I'm going to lay down for just a little bit and vlog, and he was like, okay. And then I'm going to vlog, and I just like, I could not keep my eyes open. I was like, and then I like laid down, and then I couldn't fall asleep. Does that ever happen to you? Like I started to fall asleep, and then I was like, okay, I'm up. We had fun. We had like tiramisu, because like that's his mom's favorite cake, I guess. And then this cake that Alex's grandma made, that's like her famous coconut cake. And then flan. I didn't have any of that. They know I don't love it. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's like not my favorite. But I did have a piece of Alex's grandma's cake, and can I just tell you that I bit into a candle? Like, I had part of the candle in my cake. I was kind of down at that point. I was like, I'm gonna go home. So anyway, Carlitos and Sebastian were very, very good and behaved. They were playing on their tablets the whole time. They're just very sweet. And, yeah, that was it. Carlos bought like this like 2.5 foot high inflatable pool. It's like a really nice pool, like for the backyard. It's probably like 20 feet across, like all around. But like Liliana and Carlos get in in the evenings, I guess, like when the kids go to sleep, they like get in it and stuff. And they're so like tan, and they're like, yeah, we've been in the pool. I mean, it's like a really nice pool. I was like looking out at it, I was like, I go, do your neighbors care that you have this pool? And Carlos was like, no. He was like, all of our neighbors have the pools. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Because they have like this huge trampoline, like with a net around it where the kids, you know. And I've never actually been in a trampoline. Well, one time I got on a trampoline for like 2 minutes. And I started kind of like, I don't know, it like freaked me out. I don't know why, but I've never really like been in a trampoline and done like jumped or anything like that. So sometime this summer I'm gonna have to go over there and like jump in the trampoline because I want to try it. But I've never like done it. If I have, I don't remember, but it's been like one time, and I do remember that one time. But that's a story for another time, because there's like kind of like a bad memory that's associated, well, not a bad memory, but a sad memory that's associated with that. So, anyway, yeah. And there's no real story, you guys, behind that. It's just, anyway. It was after like somebody had passed away, and it's just like a real sad kind of story. What surrounds it. So anyway, yeah, that was my day. It was a good day. I'm tired of the rain. It has rained here. Is it supposed to rain tomorrow? It has literally rained here like every day for like the past 4 days. 5 days maybe. I'm really tired of the rain. Hold on a second. I can't stand the rain against my window. Do you guys remember that song? Is that Tina Turner? I love that song. It's 70 degrees right now. Wednesday, 10% chance. Thursday, sun and 89. 10%, okay, we're not supposed to have rain till next Tuesday. So I can break out the cushions. Yeah, great. Is this weekend, upcoming weekend, is this 4th of July? It is, isn't it? Are they doing anything in Indianapolis? Let's see. Surely they're not having the, like, all of the Several 4th of July fireworks displays set for central Indiana amid coronavirus pandemic. Well, that's great to know. Downtown Indianapolis, the Freedom Blast has been canceled, citing financial resources and public health concerns in the decision. Some area fireworks shows will go on a schedule. Find our list below. Okay, Carmel, the parade and festival canceled. Fireworks begin at 9:45 p.m. on July 4th. They will set them off from the locations. They will last 18 minutes. I know that I'm going to have to do this. Noblesville, they're having the parade and everything. I can't believe these people are still having festivals and stuff. Like, that's unbelievable to me. Like, downtown Indianapolis isn't, but like every surrounding area is, which means it's going to be super packed, like in all those surrounding areas. That is like so stupid. Oh well. Nobody asked me. You can imagine if the governor of Indiana called me up. Peter, I was just wondering, what do you think about these fireworks, 4th of July? I'd say, I think we can live without 4th of July fireworks for a year. For at least just 1 year. For people's safety. I think maybe we should cancel those. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe people get pretty upset if we canceled those fireworks. I mean, people are dying. Maybe we should, you know, priorities. I don't know. I think we're going to have to let the fireworks continue. People are silly, aren't they? Anyway. Alright, you guys, I'm going to finish my vlog now because I'm at half battery and I've got 9 minutes left before I'm at the 30-minute mark. So let's see if I can get my outro done in 9 minutes today. Let's see how fast I can get it done, okay? I'm going to start it at 21:30. I won't even remember what time I started at. You guys ready? Let's see how fast I can get it done tonight. Okay, here we go. So, if you guys made it this far in the vlog, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, please, in this vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me. Please comment in the comment section below. Even just put a blue heart for the OG Wolfpack. That's all of us out there trying to get through life, trying to just put some positivity and love and kindness out there in the world. And please make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to it and to all of my channels because it would really mean a lot to me. And also, go check out Steven's channel, and I am going to continue to link it so you guys can go check it out. It's really making him, like, so happy, so go check it out. And, yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing... tomorrow, Wednesday. I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Ooh, it's so hot in here. Like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. You know, participate in your favorite craft or hobby. Eat your favorite food. Get outside and take a walk. Lay out by the pool. Go swimming. Just do something fun. Start a new TV show. Start a new book or movie. Also, eat your favorite food today. I have ice cream at home. I'm going to eat some of that. Also, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it, whether it's tomorrow or the next day. No, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month or next year or 10 years from now or 20 years from now or 50 years from now or 60 years from now or 69 years from now, family friendly, or 80 years from now or 88 years from now, or 100 years from now, or 110 years from now, or even 120 years from now, if any of us are still here. I doubt it, but I hope we all are. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, and Steven talked about this too, it's called mirror work. I love that he talked about it. Look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like, you are valuable. And every... do I say that? And every night before you go to bed, look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like, you are valuable. And every night before you go to bed, say to yourself, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I want, I'm going to take a nap, I'm going to spend some time with my family and friends, I'm going to spend some time alone, I'm going to engage in all of my favorite things, my passions, my hobbies, my crafts, things that I love doing, like reading and cooking and gardening and all of that. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day long today, or all day long tomorrow, and I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track, well, I can always start my day over. And if my day gets off track and I start getting negative, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. And when you get up in the morning, say to yourself the exact same thing. Say, today is going to be, well, not the exact same thing, because it's today. Say, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joy. Just try this if you've never tried it. Just try it, okay? It'll be in your head all day. Today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. And I'm going to eat great food. I'm going to participate in all of my favorite crafts and hobbies and passions, like cooking and gardening and reading books and true crime and movies and TV movies. My dad always says movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day today. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day today, and I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track and I start getting negative, I can start my day over if my day gets off track and I start getting negative, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. Well, I can start my day over whenever I want. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and you let them know how much they mean to you. Just text somebody, call somebody, send a postcard and say, hey, I was just thinking of you, how you doing? You know, happy birthday. Oh, it's not your birthday? Well, happy birthday anyway. Like somebody said earlier, you know, every day that you're happy can be your birthday. Anyway, just reach out to somebody. Also, practice random acts of kindness, but like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the nice thing to do. We're putting positivity, love, kindness, and goodness out there in the world. So just do it for that, you know? You'll feel better, and it'll help the world as well. And I love you guys. How long did I go? Like, I think I went 5 minutes almost. So 4.5 minutes, almost 5 minutes by the time I end this. Thank you guys for watching again. And have an amazing day tomorrow. Have an amazing Wednesday. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!